Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by my, hopefully she got sleep this weekend, Bree Tucker.
Oh, hello, everybody. How are you? Yeah, last week was rough.
Yeah. Well,
it was rough, man.
And I kid you because you had like teenager sleepover at your house on Saturday.
Yeah, and I was going with the whole, like, I had a migraine that took me out for 2.5 days.
The migraine that took you out, too.
Take your pick. Yeah. I had a migraine that took me out for 2.5 days. And then the next day, which was the first day of actually eating solid foods after the migraine, we had the sleepover with 6 teenagers and the water park trip.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's amazing I'm on 2 feet today.
Yeah, I commend you. You got it done.
I got a grande coffee today, though.
Oh, yeah. Needed. Totally needed. Well, today we are talking about a problem many parents have. Maybe, I'm sure you've had it as well. But like, you're in the car, you're about to drop off your kid at school. Well, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I forgot my lunch.
I forgot anything.
I forgot my library book. I forgot my homework. I forgot like everything. And I was super interested about this. So I polled people on my Instagram. And if you're not following me, go follow No Guilt Mom on Instagram. It's just at No Guilt Mom. And I asked, what happens? Like, what do you usually do to make sure your kids don't forget anything for school? And the choices were A, drive home and get it for them. B, let them figure it out at lunchtime. This was specifically about a lunch, like forgetting a lunch. C, you remind them every day. D, take away screen time privileges when they forget.
Now, here's the interesting thing. When we did that little quiz, we were quite surprised at the responses we got.
Yes, because what we would suggest to do is to let them figure it out at lunchtime and maybe starve a little bit.
Well, let's be honest. No one's going to let your kids starve.
No, but they will just get the cheese sandwich in the lunch line.
They may not get the best lunch, but they're going to get food. They're not going to starve in that one day, people. I can guarantee you that for sure.
They will not. I say that as a joke. I think of Beauty and the Beast, where it's like, what should we do, Master?
Go ahead and starve. Yes, I love that scene.
Yeah, but it's not really starving. But many people,
what did they say?
You remind them every day.
And we have one thing to say to that.
No, you don't. That's not
people.
how to get them to remember everything. This is some tough love coming from the No Guilt Mom podcast today. And if you're like, but then how do I make sure they remember? Well, we have 4 tips for you in this week's episode. You're going to love them. And let's get on with the show.
Okay, I just have to say it. I hate Sundays.
Why do you hate Sundays?
Because in my house, Sunday is laundry day. And I swear to God, it's like I run a laundromat in the first floor of my house.
You have very strong feelings about laundry, I see.
I do. I hate laundry for starters.
Yeah.
So it's that chore that I just despise. And granted, in my house, everybody does their own laundry. Mm-hmm. But seriously, on top of that too, like, we have everybody trying to use the washer non-stop that day.
I totally get that. Like we have that in our house too, where Sunday the washer is going all the time. And then like I'm okay with laundry, like actually putting it in the washer. The part that gets me is folding. And folding is like the bane of my existence. I hate it so much, but it's really cool because we found something, Bree.
We did. We found something that I think is going to help me take back my Sundays.
It already has, actually.
It has.
Yeah, it's called Hamper, Hampr. And the easiest way to describe this, it's like the Uber of laundry.
Oh my gosh. It was a godsend when we heard about this.
It was like, so it's life-changing, I swear. What happens is that you sign up for Hamper and they send you these laundry baskets. And they're laundry baskets that me and my husband, we just keep in our closet and we use them as like laundry hampers.
Yeah, I love the use of the app for starters because
Yes.
when I have to go find things on the internet, it drives me nuts. So it was so easy. We just downloaded the app, signed up, put in our address, and then 4 hampers were sent to my house.
4 hampers are sent to us.
Yeah, no stress, nothing there. And the same as you. Like we put hampers in our bedroom. My kids get hampers. Our stepson gets a hamper. It's amazing. We can all get it done super fast.
And all that happens is once they're full, we zip them up, we go in the app, we schedule a pickup, scan all the hampers, tell them exactly how we want our laundry washed.
And I don't even have to use my own washing. Like I don't have to use
No.
my own detergent. They have their own if I want.
They have their own, and then it's put us outside our door. We get our own personal washer, and they return it to us a day later, perfectly folded, better than I can fold it.
Hamper fairies, they are phenomenal. Like 24 hours later, it's there perfect. I drop the hamper back off in my kids' room. It's all folded. All they have to do is put it away.
It's amazing. And you can try out Hamper too. You can use the code NOGUILT50 for 50% off new memberships, and check our show notes for all the info you need to start using Hamper.
You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom Podcast.
So we have 4 simple steps to make sure your kids remember everything they need for school this year. Now, that's a big promise.
Well, and here's my thing that's even the bigger promise. These 4 simple steps are not going to include you nagging them and reminding them every day.
No, we're taking that away. We're taking that away.
Yeah, it's not your job, man. It's not your... If you've listened to No Guilt Mom episode 1, our No Guilt Mom mindsets, this is the one I want every listener to hear and remember. And if you haven't heard episode 1, or if you forgot it, go back and listen to it again.
Yeah.
You need to remember the mindset that showing love to my family doesn't mean that I have to do everything. And that includes reminding everybody about everything.
Yes, because it is truly not your responsibility, Mama. Like, if they forget it, it is not on you. It is on them. We're going to be a little sassy up in here today.
We're going to be telling some hard truths, man.
Hard truth.
A couple of our tips might seem a little bit hard to swallow, but trust me, they work.
They totally work. These are things that both of us use, and you can better believe that Bree and I, we are not making the trips to school when our kids forget homework or backpacks or lunches. We are not reminding them of things in the morning because, oh my gosh, we have enough trouble getting our own selves ready to worry about anyone else. Let's be honest.
I know. My start time has moved how many times over the past year?
I'm a little squirrel in the morning, and I'm like, ooh, this is interesting over here. Oh, I have 5 minutes to get ready. Okay.
Oh, yeah. There's so many days my hair is a messy bun.
But maybe your personality is like that too. And you right now are getting like, you feel like you're up against a wall with it because you can't seem to get yourself together and you can't seem to get your kids out the door. And by just taking away that responsibility of needing for your kids to remember everything, it's a huge weight. And then you get to kind of ease into your own personality a bit and not fight against it.
And on top of things, you're actually going to have your children learn skills that they need for the rest of their lives. I mean, you can't beat that. Mm-hmm. So let's get straight into this. What are our 4 simple steps? What are our 4 simple tips for people today?
So the first thing that we need to do is we need to assess. We need to take an inventory of your kids' skills now in terms of getting ready in the morning. Like, what do they know how to do? And what do you typically need to remind them to do?
So the things you need to remind them, you really need to take a step back and look at it and figure out, are you reminding them because they know how to do it and it's just not a priority, like it's not something that they remember on their own? Or are they actually needing you to remind them because they actually don't know how to do it?
Yeah, that is a good thing to ask yourself. I know that we always look at our kids' skills, me and my husband, and we actually had a family meeting about this last night because I got very upset about the dishwasher. And it was such a little thing with the dishwasher. Like my kids, they do the dishes. They load it, they unload it. Like I don't have to usually remind them to do it. It's just that it sometimes takes a while. And I'll be cooking dinner and I'll open like the silverware drawer and there'll be nothing there. Like no spoons, no forks, no knives, because it's all waiting for me in the clean dishwasher. And I have to open the dishwasher. I have to hunt for what I need and then go back. And then I have to go in and hunt for what I need and then go back to preparing dinner. And that adds a lot of time.
It does. And it adds a lot of stress because whose job is it to unload the dishwasher?
It is my daughter's.
Okay.
So I put this on our family meeting agenda for last night and we talked about it as a family. And what we found is that the dishwasher problems, first, my daughter felt that she had way too much homework at night and she was just really stressed herself.
Understandable.
It's one of those things where like if we had just told her to do it, she wouldn't have found a way out of the situation.
Right.
So we talked about, how we could manage the stressors that she was talking about, which is dance class and homework. Mm-hmm. And how if it was just done by a certain time, like right after school, right before dinner, I would totally be happy about it. And when she heard that, she's like, okay, I'll just do it right when I come home. I'll be like, great.
Right.
My son, he does the morning and he had a hard time remembering. And this goes back to needing to remind kids because my son's thing was like, oh, if you just remind me to do it, I had to step back and I'd be like, I'm not going to remind you. Like, this is
I'm not going to
be
here your whole life.
Yeah.
You need to be able to remember to handle your own responsibilities without me being the voice.
Yes.
Hey, Aubrey here, and I wanted to share one of my favorite gifts to give during the holiday season, a Storyworth book. It is the most amazing gift ever. Storyworth is an online service that lets you create a special and unique gift of someone's story. I've given Storyworth books to both of my parents, and it has been their favorite gift, hands down. And did I mention it is so easy? Storyworth emailed my parents questions every week that I handpicked from their massive list of questions that they have. All my parents had to do was open their email and answer them. That easy. I asked my dad questions like, did you have any rules that you set for yourself as a parent, which you immediately broke? And he did. I even asked both of my parents, are you more like your mom or your dad? And they shared a lot of really amazing qualities that I didn't know about my grandparents at the time. Then at the end of the year, Storyworth compiles all of their answers, puts them into this gorgeous book that covers everything. My parents love showing us their books, and I personally love getting a chance to read them. With Storyworth, I am giving those I love a thoughtful and personal gift from the heart that preserves their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/NGM and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/NGM to save $10 on your first purchase.
My son is playing a game right now on his computer where he's a thief and the cops are after him. So I'm so excited about this new app, Give As We Grow, where instead of being the quote unquote bad guys, kids are practicing giving back.
That is so cool, Joanne. I really wish that there was something like this when my kids were younger that got them excited about giving back to others and helped them build a better understanding of what it really means to volunteer.
Give As We Grow is the first of its kind free educational mobile app for children ages 8 to 11 that teaches kids via fun, service-focused minigame quests to tap into their unique talents and interests to help others.
And did you know that studies show that there is a biological connection between generosity and happiness, and that volunteering improves people's physical and mental health? I mean, kids who volunteer typically do better in school and are less likely to engage in risky behaviors. And that is something that I think we all want for our kids.
Ready to spark a new movement in generosity? Find and download Give As We Grow for free in the App Store for Android and iOS. And for resources for the whole family, visit giveaswegrow.org. So he has a little buffer time, a lot of buffer time put into his morning because he's an early riser and that's how he likes it. He gets completely ready for school and then he watches Roblox on YouTube.
Okay.
So one of the suggestions my husband gave is like, well, the TV is in the living room and the dishwasher's in the kitchen.
You have to walk past the kitchen to get to the living room.
Yeah. And he's like, well, why don't you just have the TV on while you're loading the dishwasher?
Ooh.
And my son was like, okay, I'll try that. And this morning, guess what? The dishwasher was loaded when I came downstairs.
Oh, isn't that a thing? You and I are learning about
It's
this.
habit bundling.
Yes, it's habit bundling. This is a scientific fact, people. When you put something enjoyable with something that isn't as enjoyable, you're more likely to complete the task that's unenjoyable because you've got that thing to look forward to.
Yes. Maybe it's called temptation bundling with that. It's a bundle of some
Yes,
type.
it is a bundle. It is
Yeah.
a bundle. It's a 2-for-1, people. It's a 2-for-1. So, like, if you don't know what your kids can and can't do, what we're saying is, like, just take a moment, talk to them about the things that aren't getting done and ask them why. Because, we've talked about it in several different podcast episodes, but one that I think that is a really great helpful on this one is our duct tape episode.
Yes.
With Vicky Huff.
Oh my gosh, Vicky Huffle has so many great tips in there. That's episode number 78.
Yes.
And if you're wondering, okay, well, how do I get to the why? Like, what if they just say, Brie, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. No, I'm joking. If they don't know, then like, okay, with me, I'm a talker. So
Yes.
it is partially a talking situation, but also, and sometimes I'll be like, then just show me what you're supposed to do. And then a lot of times with my kids, that's when they'll be honest. They'll be like, okay, all right, if you're going to seriously watch me, then I'm going to admit I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. Yeah. So
And they're like, cool.
That totally works.
I don't
with the
get mad.
know.
Yeah. So like, and that's a big thing you got to remember. If your kids are being honest with you and vulnerable and telling you, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, we don't get mad. We get glad. No, I'm joking. We don't get mad.
We find the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of naming the problem.
Right.
And you can't fix any problem that you don't name.
Exactly. And then you just help teach them that skill. You break it down step by step and help teach them how to do it.
For like things that are stressing them out, like with my daughter, I had to go a little deeper past the I don't know. And I used the questioning strategies that we teach parents in Calm and Happy Parenting to get to that point where she was just stressed out and wasn't sure how to manage her time. And by finding that out, we could solve that problem instead of thinking it was just negligence on her part of not unloading the dishwasher.
Right. Yeah. So like you were asking her, like, what part is it that's hard?
What part is hard? And I broke it apart into different things. Well, you remember to get dressed for dance. So how do you remember to get dressed for dance and you don't remember to unload the dishwasher? And so it was one of those things, well, dance is coming up right then and the dishwasher,
Isn't in front of me.
Isn't in front of me and I don't really need to do it.
Right.
So once we found those out, we connected it then to how I felt about it, which is like making dinner. And
I bet she never even thought of it that way.
I don't think she ever thought of it that way.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of times I have found with my kids when there's a frustration that I need something done, if I explain to them my perspective and how their lack of doing it directly impacts me, I can't even tell you how many times I have either seen the light bulb turn on or I get the, oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
It's amazing. It's amazing how it happens. So that's number 1. Take inventory of what they need to do now.
All right. Number 2 is
Make a plan. So we kind of got a little bit into the making the plan already, but if they need to learn the skills for the school year, make a plan on how you'll help them. And I really encourage you to pick one thing at a time.
right. And you actually have this really, really great thing that we teach a lot of our moms and our balance group.
Yeah.
We talk about the I do, we do, you do.
Yes, the teaching strategy. And all of you teachers out there, you will recognize that because the teaching term is escaping me right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Come tell it to me on Instagram.
Yes. Share with us what the actual strategy
It's
is called.
guided learning.
There we go.
There we go.
Guided learning. See, we were guiding you to that answer.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there going like, well, how am I supposed to teach them? First, you show them how to do the skill that they need to work on, right?
Yep, you show them how to do it. So if it's loading a dishwasher, you show them how to load a dishwasher. Do you know what? I'm not allowed to load dishwashers in my house.
Well, that's what you get for being married to an engineer.
I know.
They are pretty particular about
They're so particular. He's the one who taught my son how to load the dishwasher. My husband did because I'm like, put them in there. They're going to get washed. Hands off.
I will say I kind of have that rule in my house too. Like it's an unsaid rule that Bree's the one who does the dishwasher.
Oh, yeah?
Because a lot of the people in my family seem to think that you can put bowls facing each other that almost are completely blocked and that they'll get washed. No, they won't, people. That is not how dishwashers work. The water doesn't get in there and then you end up with like food in the middle of the bowl. Bree gets a little passionate about this.
Counterpoint, you could totally do that. And then you rinse out the bowl when you take it out if it happens to get water gunk in
I
it.
need to wash it again. Just put it in facing the right way.
Rinse it.
I will say this. My kids are allowed to load the dishwasher because I have taught them how to do it.
Yeah.
For Miguel, I haven't taught him, but I feel like I don't need to because he does so many other things. I'm like, it's cool. I'll handle the dishwasher. I got that. So when you're teaching people and you do the I do part first,
Show 'em
really, it only takes 1 or 2 tries for the most part.
And most of the time, if you have an older kid, they'll be like, I know this, Mom. I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And
All
then
right, cool, then do it.
they
No.
can they can help you take it over. They can say, okay, well, what part do I do next? And then you look at them and they're like, I don't know.
And then you're like, aha. No, I try not to get too sassy while we're doing the teaching.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a comedian, so my kids do know that I will do that, but then I laugh and I'm like, I love you. Don't worry. I'm not mad. Just giving you crap.
Yeah. So help them guide them through it. If you want a little more help on this, we have podcast episode 51 about morning routines. Or if you want to like a lot of help and really want to perfect this in your house, our course, Tame Your Morning Chaos for Kids, teaches kids step by step how to make a plan for their morning routine. And it comes from me as a teacher instead of you as a parent. And they can't fight with me through the screen.
She's like, yeah, I'm not there. They can yell at me all I want. I don't care.
But it's made wonderful results for kids in like homes all over the world, and it's just a great program. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So a couple more things to remember about making a plan. All right. These are my little tidbits that I feel passionate about. You have to make sure that the supplies are accessible to them. Mm-hmm. So for instance, if your issue is that your child is continuously forgetting their lunch and you've gone through step 1, you've made sure that they have the skills. So now you're on step 2, making the plan, but you don't have the foods where they can reach them or the Tupperware where they can reach them to pack their own lunches. They can't do it, people. So make sure that you have arranged things in a way that they know where they are and that they can reach them. And if you're dealing with younger kids with packing lunches, and I know I'm focusing on packing lunches, but this is because I know it's a bane of so many of our existence.
It is totally, yes.
Giving them like an outline of what they can pack to is helpful. Like maybe make a cute little chart together where it says like, hey, my lunch is going to have a protein. It's going to have a fruit or a veggie. It's going to have a drink, and it's going to have something that's like a dessert or something sweet that I want. Mm-hmm. Giving them that autonomy, but also letting them know what the expectations are super helpful, especially for people like Brie that love checklists.
Yeah, and we have a chart actually in Tame Your Morning Chaos for Kids, a lunch packing chart.
Oh my gosh. See, so right. It's all right there. I didn't even
we
think
have
about
it
that.
in, but also I want to like talk about a roadblock for doing this. I don't want you to get stuck in perfection, thinking that you have to have everything accessible right away before you start this with your kids.
Oh, right.
Because it's better to just start and figure out what needs to be changed than to wait until everything's perfect.
100% agree with that. Yes, because if you're waiting for perfection, I'm someone that gets overwhelmed by perfection.
Yes.
I worry that if I can't do it exactly right, then I don't even try. And letting go of that expectation of perfection, it is so huge and so freeing and so important for your kids to see that they don't have to be perfect to try something.
Yep. So when you start to make a plan with your kids, when your kids make a plan, just start. Just do it. Put it like bare basics. Be like, this is my bare basics plan. We are doing our bare basics plan together. And you know what? If something doesn't work, or if we come up with a challenge, we're going to solve it then. And you're teaching your kids great skills
of problem solving, resiliency. One of my favorite things that I say to my kids whenever there has been a mistake and they're having a meltdown, we work on breathing first to calm down.
Yes, breathing.
And once we're at least like we're not hyperventilating, sobbing and screaming and crying or on the floor tantruming, I go, hey, is it burnt down? And all the time my kids will stare at me. When I first started saying it, they would be confused and be like, no. Now they look at me and go, yeah, Mom, I get it. And the whole point of it is that if it's not burnt down, people, we can still fix it.
Yeah.
We can work on it.
We can. And even if it does burn down, people recover from that. And I say that because I was just listening to Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime. And he burned down a house, guys. Trevor Noah burned down a house when he was a kid in South Africa.
Okay. How? Just real quick. How?
They were playing with like magnifying glasses and matches, and they had left it in a bedroom on a bed, and the bed evidently had some light on it, and the magnifying glass like lit the match, and the whole structure went up. And it was his friend's house The whole house went up.
Oh my God.
I totally recommend this book because, I mean, look at Trevor Noah now. He's pretty successful.
Pretty resilient.
Read that book if you're ever worried about your kids being naughty. Oh, Trevor Noah was so naughty. But
I'm only okay. So I'll admit I was curious because I almost burnt down my kitchen once.
Really?
Yeah, as a kid, and then I was banned from using the microwave for a long time after that. That's a story for another podcast.
Yes, but we're hitting that time of year where my brain gets so overloaded in December that I look for anything to make life easier. And I have to say, Brie, that Green Chef is one of those services.
Yes, Green Chef is there to take away the dreaded, oh my goodness, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? You can eat clean all holiday long with over 80 weekly meal options each week, featuring things like quick and easy, protein-packed, calorie-smart, or my personal favorite, the keto options.
And you don't have to lose track of healthy eating habits during the holidays because every Green Chef customer gets a free session with one of their registered dietitians who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you, which is very cool.
And I have to say that I have been loving their recipes lately. They put things together I have never thought of. This week, we're trying the lemon basil caper pork with sauteed cauliflower, bell peppers, almonds, and feta cheese, my favorite. Their recipes make it so easy to support my wellness goals without skipping on flavor.
For Green Chef's best deal of the year, get $250 off with code NGM250 at greenchef.com/NGM250. That's greenchef.com/NGM250. And don't forget to use that code NGM250 to get $250 off.
Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. It is so hard to raise kids who know how to manage money. Brie, right now, my kids are all about earning money for presents. My daughter wants to get presents for all of her friends, and my son is doing a Secret Santa with his friends.
Oh, I hear you. And if you're looking to raise kids that are financially responsible, we have got a lifesaver recommendation for you that you need to check out. It is Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families that gives kids and teens an easy and fun way to gain financial literacy, all while giving parents peace of mind.
You can send instant money transfers, automate allowance, and even keep an eye on kids' spending with real-time notifications. Meanwhile, your kids can begin their journey towards financial autonomy by learning how to save, invest, and spend wisely.
So sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/NGM.
That's greenlight.com/NGM to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/NGM. Let's take this back a little. They're not going to burn the house down making a sack lunch. It's not going to happen.
No.
That was an aside, but I was like, maybe I should step this back a little bit.
We're freaking him out, man. We're
I
freaking
don't
him
want to
out.
freak you out here. I just want to add a little comedy to your morning or your afternoon or wherever you're listening to us. But,
Oh, glorious. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, Joanne told us it's okay to burn down the house.
Exactly. Joanne said if the kids burn down the house, it'll be okay.
You know.
Not exactly the message we're going for.
Not exactly. Let's go on to number 3.
Yes. Number 3 is, and this is one of my favorites, you got to let them fail, people.
You have to. It's so hard, but it becomes fun.
Yes.
Because you know when a failure is coming and you're like, this is going to be such a good learning opportunity.
Yes. So we're going to preface this with people, we understand that this one is going to hurt. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be easy. And when I say it's going to hurt, I don't mean your children are going to physically be in pain. It's going to hurt your heart.
It is.
Because you're going to see your kids failing at something that you saw coming. You knew was a possibility. And you could intervene and take away that pain, take away that failure from them. But what are they learning then? They're not learning how to fix it on their own. They're learning that mom or dad can fix it. I don't have to do it on my own. And that is stealing so much from your children.
It's stealing confidence because really your confidence goes up when you know that you can handle situations that are put in front of you without anyone else handling it for you. An example of this failure very recently, and it was a small failure, but we were at Dave & Buster's and we had bought our kids like game cards for them to use while we're there. And my husband had bought them for them and he told them that, hey, you know, this is it. If you lose it, like it's gone. It's totally gone.
I'm not buying you another.
I'm not buying you another. So about an hour into when we were there, my daughter comes up to us and she's like, I can't find my game card. And it was at that point where I was like, my heart hurt. She's like, all of my friends are here with me. I won't be able to do games with any of my friends. I promised, we had a neighbor who used to be a neighbor, but her name's Emma. Shout out to Emma's mom. She's listening. She's little. She looks up to Cam like Cam's her big sister. And she's like, I promised Emma that I would do something with her and I cannot do it. Like that's laying the case right there for me to be like, okay, here's another game card. Yeah, I didn't. I stood my ground and I empathized with her. I said, you know what? That's a real bummer. I'm so sorry. I've lost stuff like that too, and it hurts. She's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like this, I don't know. And she like got really mad at me and stomped away. And Bree was there, and I turned to Bree, and I'm like, a lot of lessons being learned tonight. A lot of lessons.
She was not a happy camper for part of that night, but she eventually worked through it.
She worked through it. She found a way through.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you the next time you guys go to do something like that, she's going to keep a close eye on her money.
Yeah.
That she doesn't like drop it or put it down somewhere and walk away.
But it hurts as a parent because here we were having this fun event, and you're like, oh my gosh, like she's not having fun. This is a failure. But it's not that.
Yeah.
It's hey, this is a lesson, and your kids will have these lessons too, and it's good in the long run. It is so, so good, but it's hard on your heart a little bit when you're doing it.
But here's some silver lining to this cloud. If you do the first 2 steps where you figure out what their skills are, you help teach it to them, and you help make up a plan, this failure step is actually pretty short. Mm-hmm. It's really only, oops, I tripped and failed once, maybe twice. Rarely 3 times, and it's over.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, I figured it out. I know how to not have this happen again. And, you know, if you really want to get some more information on talking about this and the whole gift of failure, we actually interviewed Jessica Leahy back in episode 13. And I know this sounds like we were plugging every single episode, but there were some really awesome episodes that we've had that I just want to like bring you back for. So if you want some more information about how to do this, what is the gift of failure, Jessica Leahy had a phenomenal interview with us back on episode 13.
Yes. And again, don't get stuck on perfection. Don't go listen to this entire podcast and listen to everything we're recommending before taking action. Like start with these steps now and you're going to see results.
Yeah.
You could also do the letting them fail, getting ready in time in the morning is really powerful if you let them be late to school and even let their sibling be late to school so their sibling gets mad as well. That's a hard one. It's a hard one. And you're kind of smiling like that.
No, I'm smiling because I'm just thinking like we're not advocating for you to cause that to happen. We're just saying occasionally we need to let these consequences happen so our children can learn that they do have the thought process. They do have the skills to work through this on their own and to know what it feels like when they trip up. So that way they know, ooh, I didn't like that feeling. I'm not going to do that again.
And if you're wondering about dealing with work and everything, if you have to get to work on time, if your child is constantly dragging their feet in the morning and late, you know this is happening, you could actually like plan the day where you're a little late to work. You could tell your boss, hey, I'm working on this. Is it okay if I come in like 20 minutes later than usual? And just communicate that ahead of time. And then you're free that morning to just kind of watch it unfold and see what happens.
Right. But tip number 4 is my absolute favorite. What is number 4?
Watch them succeed.
Yes, I love this one. It makes your heart so happy.
They're going to do it. They're so going to do it. Yes, they will have to experience some failure at first. Yes, they're going to be uncomfortable at first. But then, oh my gosh, the second they get it, that is such a confidence booster for kids that you cannot manufacture.
Oh, yeah. And this is the step where I swear your heart just bursts with pride. Watching your child show their self-confidence, show their problem-solving skills, and you're going to be able to flash forward in your brain and see them being successful in their lives without you. It's so great.
It's an amazing thing and it will happen. I know that you're probably being told that for people to get out the door in time, you need to like make sure you wake up before everyone else. You have to plan the morning to a T. You have to make sure kids do things the night before and all these things on you. We're saying no.
We're saying push back on that. No, it is not all you. You don't have to do everything for your family to show them that you love them. Mm-hmm. You don't. And your children are smart and capable.
It's better if you don't. It's better in the long run because you are going to raise self-sufficient kids who contribute to you, who help you out instead of you always trying to make sure they're happy.
They're competent, they're capable, they're resilient, they are going to be successful.
Yes. So we've had a little bit of tough love in this episode, Brie.
Yes, we
We've been
did.
a bit sassy.
Yep. Gotta admit, there was a few hard truths there for you, but hopefully you're shaking your head yes, especially once we got to that step number 4 and you're like, that's where I want to be.
Yes.
We are telling you these are 4 fail-proof tips. They will work.
I like how you choose the word fail-proof because you have to fail to do it.
Oh!
You have to do it. You have to
Good
fail it.
point.
Maybe these are 4 tips that
Foolproof?
involve failure. Foolproof. Foolproof is good.
Foolproof,
Yeah.
fail-fulfilling.
Fail, yes.
sure.
Because you want them to fail. You really, really, really want them to fail because that is the only way that lessons sink in. And when you see an opportunity for your kid to fail in a little way based on their actions, take it. Because that is the shortest path to getting them out the door on time. Their lunch is packed, their backpacks. They need to experience that and know that their parents won't always be there to catch up the slack.
Yes.
They need to be responsible.
So real quick recap, the 4 tips that we have for you. First, take an inventory, assess what their skills are.
Yep. Then make a plan with them.
That's not perfect. Doesn't
Yes,
have to be perfect.
Does not perfect.
Tip number 3, let them fail.
And then 4, watch them succeed.
I love it. Say that tip 4 is like the easiest, best thing that is my golden carrot that I can go right for.
And you're not abandoning your kids either when you let them fail because you're there as support, as emotional support. Mm-hmm. You're there to empathize with the failure. You're just not there to fix it.
Yeah. You can cheer them on.
Mm-hmm. You can love them. You can offer them all the support. Just don't fix it.
But you're not Bob the Builder.
No. Felix. I'm Fix-It Felix.
Oh, there you go.
Fix it.
There you go.
Wreck
Tell
her
your
elf.
kid they are Fix-It Felix. Yes.
So remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by. Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.